Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Today we will be discussing games that are genuinely terrifying to me. So these aren't all the scariest games I've ever played, these are just the top 3 that come to mind as of right now. And there probably will be follow-up videos where I discuss other games that are on this list, but these are the ones that really stuck with me. So these are in no particular order, I'm just discussing these in the format that I choose. So number 3 is not less scary than number 1, and number 1 isn't more scary than number 3. But actually, specifically in this case, number 1 is the scariest game I've ever played, so I will take that back. But these are not ranked. They're not. Quickly, just want to add, if you do enjoy horror content, please subscribe because I release 2 videos a week, and it would be awesome if you could join along. So at number 3, we have BioShock 1. I specifically remember as a kid walking into GameStop, and on the desk of GameStop, they had a TV set up with an Xbox connected to it. On the screen, I saw the main character holding a wrench. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna pick it up and try this game out. My mom was watching over my shoulder as I was playing the game, and back then I wasn't really allowed to play M-rated games. Eventually my parents kind of just gave up and they just, yeah, you can get whatever game you want, and I turned out fine for the most part. But yeah, this was around the time where I was actually way too young to be playing M-rated games. I picked up the controller, I grabbed the wrench, and I smashed someone over the head with it. And I will never forget my mom's visceral reaction to seeing me do that. Immediately, she put that controller down. Put it. The guy behind the counter started laughing. It was just a funny little moment. I remember from that exact second when I bashed that guy over the head with the wrench, I was like, I need to play this game. So I went out with my neighborhood friend probably the next week. I kind of dropped in a little hint like, yeah, can your mom take us to GameStop perhaps? And I ended up buying the game. And his mom was cool. My mom was cool too, but his mom was cooler at the time. And she let me buy it. She didn't question it. Honestly, probably not the best idea. But when I got home and I played it by myself in my room, I could only play it at nighttime because I didn't want my mom catching me. That changed everything. Everything was changed. I could not get past the first level of this game. When I was a kid, I was absolutely horrified by this game. That thing with the arms crawling on the walls and the ceiling, and the people with the creepy mask yelling at you and their voice lines, the little girls, oh my, it was just like every single horror accumulation put into one game. And I would have just these like visceral memory dreams about this game every night, and I just could not play it. I could not bring myself to play it because of how scared of it I was. So fast forward, I'm gonna say 2023, maybe this was 2022. I bought the remastered version of the game, and I told myself I'm gonna beat this game. I'm gonna beat this game. And I did. I beat it. And was it scary? Yes, it still was. I think because it's not a traditional horror game, it almost scared me more. On the surface, it is just like an adventure story game with horror atmosphere. It's also a first-person shooter, a very, very heavily first-person shooter. Just talking about this game, I kind of want to go replay it. I'm going to do that after this video. But I remember there was a particular scene where I was picking up ammo or maybe even like one of those voice recordings, and the game spawns an enemy right behind you when you turn around. So in 2022, I was 22 years old. I was sitting at my desk. Actually, maybe I was 21. I don't really remember. I was sitting at my desk, almost a grown man at this point, and I jumped out of my seat like a scared child. It was such a scary moment that, like, you know when you're so scared you just don't scream? That was me. All you could hear was like the wheels rattling on my chair and like a little bump from my desk. That's how scared I was. Just a little jump. The atmosphere of Rapture is just so unnerving the whole entire time. Also me, guys, if you don't know, I have submechanophobia, which means I'm terrified of man-made objects under the water. This whole entire game is just man-made objects under the water. There was also another part where we're walking through the tunnels and the airplane flies through the tunnel and crashes in, and there's all that water coming in, and oh my, it's so creepy. Oddly specifically, this game is a perfect accumulation of everything that scares me in my life. So that's why it's at number 3, and I know it's not really a horror game, I get it. But if you weren't scared of this game as a kid, then I don't really trust you. And if you are scared of this game now, then I shake your hand, good sir, because we are both scared of BioShock. I wanted to get around to playing the second one, but I started it right after beating the first one, but they were so similar that I was almost kind of feeling like a burnout in the BioShock series. That's when I switched over to BioShock Infinite, and I'm probably gonna get hate for this, but I really don't like BioShock Infinite. I think BioShock Infinite starts off really, really strong, but then kind of falls apart and gets a little bit convoluted and in its way. But yeah, Bioshock 1 has a special place in my heart as one of the scariest games I've ever played. So coming in at number 2 is Resident Evil 7. Once again, I know people are going to be in the comments, Resident Evil 7 isn't scary. The first half of that game is trauma fuel, bro. Getting chased down by your girlfriend, her like cutting your hand off and shit. The hyper realistic graphics with the flashlight, almost kind of like PT. Spoiler alert for number 1. The way you have to make every single bullet count just adds to the dread the whole entire time. But yeah, I would say that after the first half, the game doesn't get as scary because you get pretty loaded. But yeah, when you're trapped in the house with the Baker family, that whole entire sequence when you're getting chased by the big man, I don't remember his name, I'm sorry. But that whole entire sequence is like levels above any other horror game I've ever played. So I want to explain as to why it is so scary to me so people have like a reason to like not crucify me in the comments. I think there's something almost personal and kind of off-putting when you have a super hyper realistic face looking model. Maybe I'll look back at it like while I'm editing this and I'm like, that face is not super realistic. But when I was playing this, the face models were so super realistic and the textures were such high quality, and like the found footage kind of first person view made everything seem so much more realistic. That mixed with them being directly in your face made it so much scarier. It's like I could almost taste their breath. They were so close to me sometimes. But yeah, the first half of Resident Evil 7 was an awesome experience. I love when games can scare me like that. And the only other game that ever did that to me was our number 1 spot. So number 1 is PT. I made a whole entire video about this if you want to go check it out. It will be linked in the description. But PT to me is the magnum opus of horror games. I love the way it was released. I love that no one knew what the hell it was until they finally beat it, which was Silent Hill. And I absolutely hate the fact that it was never released. I will never let this go. I probably think about this once every week since I played this game when I was a child. I absolutely need this game. I hate the news that comes out that's like, oh, PT, it might come out. I feel like they do this every year. There's going to be an article that comes out like, oh, PT was just listed on the Canadian board at GameStop, the remake. No, it's not. I'm sorry, this game is never coming out. And if it comes out, I will literally make a video on YouTube of eating. I'm trying to think, what object can I eat without being demonetized? I will eat a whole banana without the banana. I will just eat the peel. I will eat the whole entire banana peel if this game ever gets a trailer released or is released in general. You have my word, I will eat a banana peel. If you want to know more about this game and why it scares me so much, definitely go check out that video. But I just want to give you just a particular moment in my life that really stuck with me. So when this game released, I was playing it like literally every other person. And this game was so scary that I was in my room playing it on my PlayStation 4 with the lights on, midday, my brother's in my room, door wide open, in a party chat with my friend, playing this game. And I think I've only screamed twice in my life from being scared. One of them, I thought I saw a demon at the top of my attic. That still creeps me out to this day. I don't believe in ghosts, but that was one of those moments where I was kind of like, hold up, maybe there's a little something on the other side. And then there was the part in PT where you're staring through the crack of the door and you have to zoom in and the lady pops out and shuts the door. Yup, that's kind of sad. That I feel like I'm just openly admitting to being the biggest fucking nerd ever. The only times I've ever screamed in my life is from a video game. But yeah, genuinely that had me tweaking for a couple of weeks. Every door I looked at, I was like, there's a chance she could pop out and shut it. There was also another moment in the game which I actually didn't experience. It's when you look up at the balcony and she's actually leaning over it. I've only ever seen it through Google Images and YouTube videos. But me not experiencing it didn't change the fact that every single time I look up at my balcony at nighttime, inside my house, I see her staring down at me. She's always there. She's always there. It was like horrible timing because I just moved into a new house and like right outside my door, we have like an exact replica balcony from that game. And as soon as we moved into this house, PT came out and I saw that. And I've never looked at this balcony the same way ever again. I'm thinking about it right now. It's never changed. But yeah, there's so many small intricacies of this game as to why it's so scary. Like for example, the whole entire time, the lady is actually attached to the back of your camera and you can't see her, but she's always there. So sometimes you'll see a glimpse of her shadow actually shine through and project onto the wall, and you turn around and no one's there, but in reality, she actually is there the whole time. The sound of the radio as you keep walking by, and oh my dude, it's so atmospheric.
Car retrieved the rifle and shot his wife as she was cleaning up the kitchen after lunch. When his 10-year-old son came to investigate the commotion, the father shot him too. His 6-year-old daughter had the good sense to hide in the bathroom, but reports suggest he lured her out by telling her it was just a game.
It's truly just peak horror game. I just can't even, I really can't think of anything better. And there is nothing better to me. So at number 1, yes, PT is my all-time horror game and nothing will ever top it. There's this one game called Visage. That was pretty freaky. I think that might come close if I replay it. I might do it on stream actually. But yeah, those are my scariest games that I could think of currently at this time. Please leave your comment below telling me what your scariest game is. And just a reminder that this is subjective. And if my game didn't scare you, then oh well. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I mean, dude, I was scared of that Mr. Meaty show on Nickelodeon. Like, anyone can be scared of anything, and it's completely fine. Anyways, I'll see you guys in another video. And yeah, have a great day, great night, and bye-bye.